So if you play all GTA games, you probably notice that every game gives you a completely different feeling. GTA 3 feels cold and disturbing. Vice City feels flashy and fun with its neon lights and 80s music. But what about GTA San Andreas? Because if you actually think about it, San Andreas is the biggest, most lively, most colorful GTA game Rockstar ever made. 3 cities, mountains, desert, forests, beaches. So why does it sometimes feel like the loneliest game in the whole franchise? And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that San Andreas is not lonely. And yeah, you're right, because GTA San is the only game which I played for too many years in childhood. But here's the thing. There's a difference between a game being fun and a game making you feel something deeper when you stop doing missions and just exist in the world. And when you do that in San Andreas, when you turn off the radio, leave the city behind, and just drive into the countryside at night, something happens. Something that GTA 3 does with fear and Vice City does with nostalgia, San Andreas does with loneliness. And I want to show you why. The character, the map, the hidden locations, and what real players from around the world say about this feeling. Because it is not just me. A lot of people feel this about San Andreas, and nobody has really explained why properly. So let's talk about CJ, because just like Claude is the reason GTA 3 feels so cold and empty, CJ is the biggest reason why San Andreas feels lonely. And here's the thing about CJ that most people don't think about deeply. CJ is not a gangster by choice. He's a man who left his home, left his family, left everything behind 5 years ago because something went wrong. His brother Brian died because of CJ. Sweet blamed CJ for it, and because of that guilt, he left Los Santos and came to Liberty City. And then his mother gets killed in a drive-by shooting. So CJ comes back to Los Santos, and the first thing that happens when he lands, the corrupt police pull him out of a taxi, threaten him, and drop him with no money, no weapons, no respect, just a BMX bicycle and ballast territory surrounding him. And the first and most famous words CJ says in the whole game? Grove Street, home. At least it was, before I messed everything up. I still remember that one line, and this one line tells you everything about who CJ is. He does not feel like he belongs anywhere, not in Liberty City, where he spent 5 years. And then it gets worse, because CJ only trusts his brothers and friends, Sweet, Ryder, Big Smoke, and sadly, 2 of them already betrayed CJ and Sweet from the very beginning by helping the Ballas. They also gave signs from the beginning, which you guys didn't notice. And that betrayal is one of the most shocking and saddest things I ever saw in a GTA game. And if you see the past history of the game, what makes this even sadder is that Big Smoke's betrayal was not really just about money. Before the events of San Andreas, Big Smoke had gone to Sweet with a plan to get the Grove Street family into the drug trade. But Sweet said no, because crack cocaine would destroy the community they grew up in. And Big Smoke started doing shady things, so he decided to make a deal with the Ballas behind everyone's back. The betrayal started before CJ even came home. And when CJ finally finds out and confronts Smoke at the end of the game, Smoke says something iconic that hits really hard. He just wanted money and fame. He always wanted to be someone important. Like, from the very beginning, if you guys pay attention, Smoke was always acting weird or trying to hide something. Well, let's talk about the map itself. Because when I was a child, GTA San was the only game I played because of the huge map. Because at that time, no other game had that lively and massive map. But at the same time, the world of San Andreas is designed in a way that makes loneliness feel physical. See, in GTA 3, the loneliness comes from the city, from the cold industrial streets, the fog, the gray water, and most importantly, the dark theme of GTA 3. But San Andreas does something completely different. San Andreas gives you too much space. The map is absolutely massive. 3 full cities separated by huge stretches of countryside, desert, mountains, and forests. And in between those cities, there's almost nothing, just road and silence. And when you're driving from Los Santos to San Fernando for the first time, through the countryside and mountains, you feel it immediately. The cities feel alive, but the moment you leave the city limits, the world empties out. Traffic almost disappears. Pedestrians are barely there. You can drive for 5 minutes without seeing another person. And I'm telling you from my own experience that on the San Fernando Bridge, sometimes the roads are completely empty with no cars and no pedestrians. And I experienced this when I was a child. If you just drive in silence through the San Andreas countryside at night, that is when you understand what I'm talking about, because suddenly you are very aware of how small you are in this enormous world and how far you are from anyone who knows you. And here's what makes this interesting. The countryside in San Andreas has no animals, not a single one. No birds flying, no insects, wildlife of any kind. Rockstar could not do it because that would increase the size of the game. But the effect of a massive natural landscape with absolutely no living creatures in it is genuinely unsettling. The forests and deserts are strangely dead, and yet somehow you do not feel truly alone in those places. Like, it actually freaks me out even now when I think about it. Players have described this feeling for years on forums and Reddit. One player on Steam wrote that coming back to San Andreas after years away made him depressed. And trust me, this still happens to me when I play GTA San. Not because the game is bad, because it reminded him of how good life was when we first play it, that the nostalgia hit so hard it actually hurt. He said he removed his custom music because it made the game feel even more sad. Another player wrote that the train mission specifically makes him think about his brother, how they used to play together, how they aren't close anymore. A GTA game mission about a train made him miss his sibling. That's how deep the emotional connection to this game goes for people. And multiple people in forums described the exact same experience I was talking about, driving through the desert at night with the radio off, feeling completely alone in an enormous world, feeling small and lost in a way that no other GTA game makes you feel. Because GTA 3 makes you feel scared, Vice City makes you feel cool, but San Andreas makes you feel something more personal, more human. It makes you feel the kind of loneliness that comes from being somewhere familiar, but not really belonging there anymore. Which is exactly how CJ feels for most of the game. So what do you guys think about GTA San Andreas? Did you ever feel this kind of loneliness when you were playing it? Did you ever turn off the radio and just drive through the countryside at night alone? Drop your experience in the comments. I genuinely want to know. And by the way, I made a video about why GTA 3 feels so disturbing and scary, and also a full deep dive into the Diaz mansion and why it is haunted. You should go watch those. I'll meet you there.